Well, I've bent into one after 15 minutes, 20 minutes of getting the rods out. Got some mixers, they've started taking quite well. And without further ado, I'm going to slip this one into the net. There she is, ready for the net. Bosh! That's number one in the net. Let's get some more mixers out and keep her feeding. Well, what a start to the surface fishing video. A lovely low double, this one caught out of Sunny 2. They was taking the mixers really confidently, kept putting them DNA floaters in, little and often, and they were nailing them, but they have drifted off now, so it is Sunday afternoon, it's quiet. I think we're going to get on our toes and go and find a few more fish to try and catch, and then later in this video, I'm going to show you how I tackle surface fishing here at Wyreside. So without further ado, I am going to slip this one back, get on my toes and go and find some more fish. Well, we was about to move, but a group of fish come in, some beta stim floaters out there, they started taking them, and this is number one of almost a double take. I'm going to slip this one back and I'll get the other one out to show you. Well, this is fish number 2 of the quick flurry bites and fish number 3 of the afternoon. What an absolute stunning mirror. Size truly doesn't matter when they look like this. Again, falling to a trimmed down bug pop-up over floaters. And fish number 3. Get this one back and we'll try for a few more. Right, so now the action has slowed down. We're at a bad time of the day, but we're going to take this opportunity to show you how to set up a surface fishing rod. It's nice and simple. I am using 2 methods today. One, the controller, the other, the beach caster. But now I am going to show you how I set up the controller float. A lot of people often speak to me about surface fishing and find it quite daunting, but it really should not be the case because it is so simple to do. All you need is a normal reel and a rod, anything from 2.5 to 3.5 pound test curve. This one's spooled up with 15-pound line, and I've just threaded it through the rod, and I've got the line here. So the first thing you're going to need is a controller float. These come in many different sizes and shapes from all different companies. This one is a 30-gram Corda controller, and you can see it's got a tube on one end. This is to help with anti-tangle purposes. So first of all, you thread the float on, like so. You just thread it all the way through. Sometimes it does get stuck at the bottom because there's a little rubber insert, but you can just pull that out. So I've pulled that out. Now I've got the line, and now you just need to put the rubber insert back in, thin end first. And once that's in, just plug that back into the bottom of the float. So far, all you've got is a controller sliding on your line. Next thing to do is to take a size 8 swivel and just tie that on. I just do 5 turns. So put the swivel on, finger above the swivel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back through where your finger was. Pull that down, a little bit of lubrication, pull it nice and tight, and trim the tag end away, about 5 mils away, and then this just pulls down. Your swivel plugs into that, so this is like a bolt rig for the surface, but if anything happens that will just pull out like so. So next, get onto the hook end. My hook link of choice is the Cruise Control mainline. I use this in £12, and we'll start off by taking roughly 6 foot. Very much on the day you need to change the length of your hook link. If you're a bit wary of your float, extend the hook link. I go up to 10 foot, but at the same time, if I'm fishing in really close and the fish aren't very spooky, I'll cut it down to 2 foot, but my go-to is anything between 5 and 6 foot. So I have took 6 foot of the Cruise Control, and now I have got a size 8 Corda wide gape in micro barbed. We're just going to knotless knot this on. So straight through, front to back, give yourself a little bit of room, and then twist down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I go so far down because I mount my hook bait onto that knot, which I'll show you in a second. And then once you're down 12 times, back through the back of the hook, keep it all in place with your finger and thumb, and then pull that all nice and tight. So you've now got that secure in place. Now just, we didn't hook the bait for the surface fishing. You can use a hair rig, but I choose to hook my bait. I just think it camouflages the hook a lot better, so we don't need that tag end or a loop. So you just got a knotless knotted size 8 on there. So the next thing to do is tie this onto your swivel, and again I'm just going to use the same knot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back through, lubrication, pull it tight like so, pull that back in, and then just nip off tag end like so, not too tight in case there is any slippage. There shouldn't be, but there could be. So that is it, as simple as that. You've got reel, rod, 15-pound line, 30-gram controller to your hook link, knotless knot to a hook. So it is really basic, so don't be afraid of it. And the next thing, I often get asked what to use on the surface. You can use fake mixers, you can use bits of foam. In this instance, I'm using a bug corker pop-up, but these are quite buoyant and round. I want to match the feed as well as I can. I'm using the DNA floaters, and they're sort of like a barrel shape, so I start nipping the hook bait down to that sort of shape and size. Like so, just take your time with it, and then just get the hook, pull it down into the bait till the bait meets the bend of the hook, and then just manipulate it through like so. And then you've got quite a big knotless knot there. You shove that into the bait about halfway, like that, and then that will sit like that in the water. Hook well disguised, but plenty of exposure on that point to catch the fish's mouth. I always check these in the edge before I cast them out, because if it's overly buoyant and the fish are being a bit cagey, they'll keep spooking off it and missing it. So I put it in, and if it's really proud of the water, I'll just get it out and just nibble a bit more off, till it's just buoyant enough to float that hook link. So that's it. That's all you need to do to catch fish off the top. That's the basic setup I use, and I'm sure if you put this into your angling, you'll catch plenty of fish on it. So my top tips for surface fishing are as follows. First of all, like any fishing, you need to find the fish. Once you've found the fish, don't rush, start firing some floaters in, try and get them confident. When the fish are confident, then take your simple controller setup and cast it as far past the fish as you can without interfering with anyone else's angling. And then slowly creep it back in to where the fish are, and you're set to go. Keep them floaters going in little and often, and keep them fish competing. If there is birds in the way, just feed them off to the side if you can, if there's no one next door, or if you've got plenty of room, keep them birds out of the way and make sure you've got plenty of floaters with you. My next top tip is equipment you need. You need a hat, cap, so it keeps the sun out of your eyes, and most importantly, protects you from the sun. Also, Polaroid glasses are a must to take the glare off the water. Binoculars can be a game changer because you can see your hook bait a lot more clearly. And lastly, I would say sun cream, because a lot of time when we floater fishing, it is sunny. But that brings me on to another thing. The fish aren't just on the surface in the sun, so keep your eyes open. If you see fish cruising, even if it's raining, I've caught thousands of fish off the top when it's raining, so always have it ready to go and at your disposal. Surface fishing and zig fishing in the middle of the day when everything else is a bit slow because the fish aren't up for feeding on the bottom can definitely lead to more bites. So why not give it a go next time you're here at Wyreside? And finally, what do I do with my floaters before my session? Ideally, this is done at least 2 hours before you want to use them. First of all, I take my DNA floaters and tip the required amount into a bucket like so. They're 11mm floaters. I opt for the 11mm floaters because I feel it's easier to match them with your hook bait, and they're very good for catapulting because you can get them 30-40 yards depending on the wind. Now I take a couple of liquids. We all know I bang on about liquids. I love them. First of all, I've got the salmon oil. This is a really fishy oil and stinks. Give it a good glug on there. And then I also take the good old hemp oil. Another good glug, like so. Give it a good mix around, and that'll leave them all covered in fish attracting goodness. This, one, gives off loads of food signals for the fish to home in on, and two, it flattens off the surface if there's a bit of ripple on to make your visibility of where your feed is and your rig is a lot better. Just seal this with a lid and leave them for an hour or two, and these will good to go to catch you more fish. So finally, I want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video very informative, and I hope it puts more fish on the bank for you. So for now, tight lines, and I hope to see you on the bank sometime soon.